Okay, so here we go. Here's just a quick walk around of my 2007 FZ6. Now, if you've seen any sort of video on my channel, which probably isn't a lot of people, okay, I've had this bike for 7 years now. And I just got this microphone, so I got it to work. I watched my previous video, and it was a 30-minute video, okay, and it was really dark out, so but I still went to some nice places, but it was dark out, so I don't know how it's gonna show up. It might be okay. Anyways, guys, this bike just I don't want to ramble on too much, but I probably will because I don't care. Who cares? 2007. Okay, I've had it for, like I said, 7 years. It's got 35,000 miles on it now. I bought it for $2,800 in 2013. It did have a salvage title or rebuild, whatever you want to. I don't know. Salvage, I think, is what it is. Rebuilt. I mean, I think they're the same thing. And sorry if you can hear me breathing. The microphone's in my mouth. I need to get some duct tape. If you could see my head right now, you'd be laughing because everything's hanging. The adapter's like hanging in midair. This bike, like, I've made a couple videos. I did one. I had an R6. I kind of like compared the bikes, and I really was like, I was thinking about maybe like I was only going to keep one of those bikes, and just the more I thought about it, I'm like, this R6 is just uncomfortable. It's not really that much faster than this bike, and the R6 was just so uncomfortable. I couldn't see myself riding it. You know, I don't ride this bike a lot, like more than a couple hundred miles in a day. I'd probably do 300 miles on this bike is like the most I'd want to do. Anything more than that in a day it would be too much, I think. I just did 260 miles on it yesterday, and you know, I'm back on the bike at 4:30 in the morning. Now it's like 5. Why am I on the bike at 4:30 in the morning? Well, I don't know. I woke up and I had a piece of Domino's pizza, and fuck it, who cares, right? It was it's a Saturday, it's coronavirus, it's you know, it's summer here, so it's pretty light out at 5 in the morning. And now I'm up at I already said where I'm at, but I'm at a high school here that I probably haven't been to in a couple years. So the bike, again, I haven't had to replace anything. I know you're supposed to do a valve adjustment at 26,000 miles. I didn't do it. I mean, I inquired about doing it. You know, places are going to charge you $500 no matter what. I said, you know, I'm not going to do that unless I hear something, like, because I know I've done some research. You're supposed to maybe hear a noise or some sort of weird ticking. I do have some sort of like vibration at like 5,000 RPM, like in second gear, I want to say, but that's been there for like a long time, like well before I was even at 20,000 miles. I've kind of had that odd vibration, and it just kind of goes away. I don't know what that could be, but it's been fine. I've had to I put new tires on this bike, and I bought tires, and so I started to get a little bit of a front end wobble, and it's gone away a little bit now, but I had tires on this thing, you know, I had 15,000 miles on these it's Continental tires I had, and then all of a sudden I put the same tires on again, just new ones, and literally didn't change anything, and I'm starting to get like just front end wobble. And so I took the tire off again, you know, I got it balanced, you know, by a shop, right? They balanced the front wheel, okay. I messed with the chain and got that, you know, work right tension and everything with my mechanic, you know, because I can take stuff apart, but as far as knowing exactly what to do, I kind of trust someone who's been doing it for like 40 years. Yeah, so I had to take the calipers off, get the wheel off of there, made sure everything was just aligned down here, and tightened, you know, the steering bearing up and things like that. And it still was kind of wobbling a little bit. You know, it's not when you it's not when you're like going 70, but when you're starting to maybe slow down a little bit, or when you're starting to speed up, you're like going 40 to 60, and you kind of take some weight off the handlebars. You can feel it kind of just kind of moving. It's gotten a little better now, I guess, but I don't know. Those guys, I mean, I was just like, hey guys, I think I maybe got a wrong tire here. I mean, I got it balanced. I took it off like 2 or 3 times myself. I mean, obviously I made sure it was on the right way. You know, I checked the PSI. Okay, I messed with the chain in the back, right, to make sure, because it could be something to do with the weird tire, right? I mean, I don't know, right? But the only thing I changed was the tire, and all of a sudden I'm getting slop. I'm getting, you know, handlebar play here. What could it be? I didn't want to contact them unless I eliminated a lot of the other possibilities. And so they sent me a tire. I was like, hey, you know, I think it's the tire, guys. I mean, I bought these tires from you before. I had no problems. I changed the tires out myself, you know, this time, and all this, you know, I didn't want to contact you unless I really felt that it was probably a tire that might not be great. And so they didn't want to do it at first. I was like, okay, well, no problem. You know, I'll just leave a review. I'll just say, hey, what happened? And so they sent me a tire. Again, I'm not the type of person to do that unless something is no different than this GoPro that I bought. I thought I had a bad GoPro, or thought I had a bad microphone, but no. You know, I had to do more research and change a bunch of settings. And I don't know all the settings on the GoPro. I mean, who the hell does, right? Unless you're you know, I don't take the time to learn the settings of GoPro. I just want to plug something in and have it work, right? That's just like everyone else does. So I didn't contact anyone. I just didn't have the camera didn't work for me for 9 months, because I was just like, screw it. I can't figure it out now. It's taking too much of my time, and I'm not going to do it. And you know, so I came back to it and finally got it to work. But it wasn't their fault. It was my fault, because it was operator error, right? They didn't have maybe the best instructions on what you had to do, but I guess there's some, you know, hey, you bought something, you gotta maybe figure out how it works. There's just so many videos online that, you know, tell you to do this or tell you to do that. It's like, well, which one do I actually need to watch? I don't know. Something to do with Google's algorithm, or who the hell knows. Because Google is YouTube. YouTube is Google, right? Anyway, I don't care about that stuff. It's fine. So just all I've done is change the tires. I mean, I've changed. This is like I bought it. It had new tires. I put new tires on it like 18,000 miles. So I bought it with like 8,000 miles or 9,000 miles. I put new tires on it at 18, and then I put new tires on just recently at like 33,000. So, you know, 15,000 miles out of the first set, 10,000 out of the first, and 15,000 out of the second. By the time they had 15,000 miles, they were pretty they were getting pretty down there. It felt a lot better once you had new. I mean, other than the little bit of vibration from the front, I mean, as far as just traction, I mean, you can really feel the difference when you're taking turns. And I don't ride aggressively. I mean, I don't know. It's all relative, I guess. This bike, you can't really ride that fast. That's why I like it, because you have to really be trying to go fast. But yeah, I mean, it's really. I think you have to treat the bike okay. I mean, you can't like. I think if you ride it crazy and don't do any of like just the basic maintenance, and I mean really basic. I haven't done anything. I think I've changed the radiator fluid like once. You know, I've obviously the best thing I've done for it is just change I don't beat on it. I let it warm up for just until it gets up just barely to operating temperature at like 105 degrees or whatever, just for like a minute or 90 seconds. You know, I usually am not hammering down on it or making crazy revs or anything, and I change the oil every 3,000 miles. That's something I've done myself every time. and the filter, and I've just had no problems. I mean, I had a light come on one time, but I think it was just the battery. I had to change the battery, you know, like 2.5 years ago. Ever since I did that, it's been fine. I think my voltage was maybe low, and it wasn't wanting to. I think the battery literally might have been original. It wasn't wanting to start as easily. I had to bump start it like 3 years ago in the winter because the battery was getting just really low. Put a new battery in, boom, it's great, and it still is good. It was a $30 battery, $30, and it's been great. Anything else? No, you know, I haven't changed anything really. I mean, even the brake fluid. I mean, I literally haven't done. I've just ridden the bike. So, engine, oil, and it's just the easiest bike to work on too. You know, your drain plug's right there. Okay, it's that 17 millimeter right there, and then right here, and then here's your filter, and it just comes right out. It just screws. You know, I have a wrench, and you know, it just comes right out. You don't have to take off any plastic. You don't have to take off, you know, that fairing stuff, right? You have a center stand, so you just jack it up on the center stand. You can get right in there, and you can lube your chain on the center stand, right? You don't have to have someone walk the bike forward. It's just, you know, compared to other bikes, and compared to the BMW that I bought, which that's a different type of bike, but doing maintenance on that bike is a complete bitch. On the BMW 1200 LT, it has 8 hours worth of fairings on it.